Hey, I'm John Cannell, and today on Preppy Kitchen, we're making an easy, amazing naan. So let's get started. First off, I want 1/2 cup, 120 ml, and this is gonna be warmed up to be about 105, 110 degrees. That's gonna happen in the microwave. Now I want 2 1/4 teaspoons or 1/4 ounce packet of active dry yeast. Sprinkle that in. You don't want the water too hot or those yeast will die. That'd be so sad. And to help them wake up, I have 1 teaspoon of sugar. Give that a stir. We're gonna let this stand at room temperature for 5 to 10 minutes, and in the meantime, let's get our flour together. Into the bowl of your stand mixer or a large bowl if you're using an electric mixer or your hands, we're adding 270 grams of all-purpose flour. That's 2 1/4 cups. So this recipe is not an authentic naan that we're making in a tandoor with ghee and everything else. We just love eating it at home, and since we moved from Los Angeles to our rural corner of Connecticut, there are no Indian restaurants that deliver near us. So I wanted to make some at home and show you how you could do it on your cooktop. I did call my friend Maneet Chauhan. She's a restaurateur, she's on a bunch of Food Network shows, and she has an amazing book called Chaat on Indian food. She gave me some great suggestions on how to make this at home, and we're gonna try them out. I cannot wait. We want a teaspoon of salt to give this some flavor, so add that right in. Gonna give this a quick whisk, and we never add salt into our solution with the yeast because salt will kill yeast, so we add it in further away after they've woken up and they're nice and happy with the sugar. Now we're gonna add our yeast mixture. Go be free. 1 tablespoon of olive oil. You could use really any oil for this though. And 1/3 cup of plain yogurt. This is gonna give us a lot of moisture. So now we're gonna mix this up on low until it comes together. And then we're gonna increase speed, and I'll show you how to tell when your dough is ready. This has come together. We're gonna increase speed to medium and let this start kneading. Once this dough comes together, you can see it's like dough, but it's very grainy and it doesn't have a lot of gluten developed in it yet. Whenever I say don't overmix your batter for cakes and cupcakes and that sort of thing, it's because you don't want to develop the gluten and have this chewy texture to your cake. But naan has a wonderful chewy texture, so now you do want to develop the gluten. That's why we're kneading this together, and you're gonna see the texture of the dough completely change. This needs about 8 to 10 minutes of mixing time. Okay, look at this. This is so different. Silkier, and if I pull it away, I bet it'll stretch more. So that's much stretchier. This is ready to rise. So we're gonna pop it off, and I don't wanna do any more dishes today. I already don't. I'm gonna oil this bowl. This is ready to go into our greased bowl. We're gonna cover this and let it rise for about an hour or until it's doubled in size. While my dough is rising, I've been inspired. You could just melt butter and add that with the garlic. It'll be delicious, but gonna make some ghee. It's super easy. Butter, so delicious. It's not just milk fat. There's also milk solids in there too. So whenever you've seen like the white foamy stuff when you melt butter, those are milk solids. What's gonna happen is the butter will cook slowly. The milk solids will rise to the top. We're just gonna skim them off until it's nice and clear. I don't like to go super high on my heat at all. The milk solids will burn and take on a bitter flavor, and that is not what we want. So all this little flotsam here needs to get removed. And this can take about 20 minutes. And if you don't wanna do this, you can buy it at the supermarket. They sell it at a lot of markets now. Okay. See this? Look, it's almost all clear. Some of the milk solids cooked at the bottom. We're just gonna set this aside for a minute. If you're making this in a bigger batch, jar it up and use that for later. I'm gonna use this today for my naan, so I'm gonna pour this into a bowl. This is just pure milk fat. You can use your ghee plain, or we love adding some minced garlic to it, so I'm gonna do that with half of my ghee. Just dividing this up into 2 batches. The garlic goes into one, and it'll be nice and ready to brush on in a bit. Okay, let's take a look. All right, that is some nicely risen dough. I'm gonna punch this down. And now we're gonna divide this up, make our naan, but I'm gonna do it 2 different ways. The way I normally do it and the way Maneet showed me, which I'm so excited to try. All right, lightly flour your surface. I'm working on a pastry mat just so it's like easy cleanup. I am plopping this right out, dividing this into 8 equal pieces now. It doesn't have to be perfect. They could look very rustic. It'll still be delicious. Get your first piece of dough. We're gonna roll this up into a ball and repeat that for all your dough pieces. This is the technique I use to make dinner rolls. I just collect my edges, gather them up into an unattractive lumpy side, and we have the smooth side left over. Both sides. They'll bake up really nicely though. Here's the deal. You're gonna grab a big pan, and I'm gonna do this 2 ways, remember. So the first time I'm using my big cast iron, I'm gonna put this over medium heat. While that heats up, I'm gonna have a little assembly line of rolling dough out. So grab a piece of dough, grab a rolling pin. My friend made me this. I'm very excited to use it. And I'm just gonna roll it out into a nice oval shape. Characteristically, naan will have these beautiful big bubbles, and we wanna really mimic that or have that in our naan too. This looks nice and hot. I'm gonna place this on, and it just needs to cook. You should see big, beautiful bubbles happen. 1 to 2 minutes over medium heat is all you need. You see those bubbles forming up right away. That's nice, looking good. I have a feeling the other way is gonna be way more dramatic. A little bit of water on my fingertips, and this is gonna be glue. Not too much though, just like dampen your fingertips. It's gonna help it stick to the pan. I'm gonna place that on. And so step 1 is the same, but there is like no greasing of the pan. I'm gonna let this cook until the bottom is done. I see some big, beautiful bubbles, and then some fun parts. This is looking nice. I see some beautiful bubbles happening here. Here's the deal. Instead of flipping it over, we're gonna grab the pan and flip the pan over. So the cool part is that gravity will pull the dough down, and you'll get bigger bubbles, and you'll also get that wonderful caramelization or burning of the dough, which gives you a lot of flavor. Look at that. See those big bubbles? So much better. Oh my gosh, that looks amazing. Puffed up so much more than like my little versions. Love that. I'm adding this to the blog post. We have this wonderful ghee that we made. Brush it all over your warm naan. The whole process was so fun. I really liked trying both ways of making them. Either way, by the way, they are delicious. They have a great chew, a little bit of a char on the outside. You gotta try this recipe. Even the yogurt gives it a ton of tang. It's really delicious. I hope you get a chance to make this recipe, and if you like my videos, check out my bread playlist.